Am I audible? Okay. All right. So today we'll have entrepreneurship class, and tomorrow and day after tomorrow we'll study MIS. Okay. Okay. So let's start. In the last class, we discussed the various types of environment, and we started discussing the need and importance of environment analysis. So we'll move on with that. I think we were on the point, not to remember. Does anybody remember till where did we study? Or let's just quickly revise from the beginning, okay? So, environment analysis is important due to the following reasons. So, what are the reasons? First, that it is a crucial activity. Environment analysis is a crucial activity because the environment keeps on changing, and these changes impact the organization positively as well as negatively. So if we are not updated with the changing environment, we may face some problems. Okay. Next is identifying changes and threats. It's not treats, it's threats. Okay, so identifying changes and threats means when we analyze the environment, there are various changes that occur, as we spoke about, as the environment is dynamic and keeps on changing. See, the second last point is that the environment is dynamic, so the environment keeps on changing. Okay, and these changes impact the organization. Due to these changes, we need to keep on analyzing the environment so that we can be updated towards whatever changes are coming, whatever threats it may pose to the future of the organization, and we may take corrective steps in order to overcome these impacts. Okay. Next is formation of strategies. So strategies are formed based on what the future holds. Okay. For example, every business is focusing on sanitization, etc., of their organization, as they know that from now on they will have to make it a regular activity due to the pandemic virus. Right? So all the organizations form their strategies based on the future, based on the changes that are occurring in the environment. Okay. Then coping with demand of environment. Formation of strategy helps in coping up with the demand of the environment. You can consider these points as one leading to the other. Okay, so once we identify the changes, we can form the very relevant strategies and help that those strategies will help the organization to cope up. Cope up means to deal with the demands of the environment or the changes of the environment. Okay, so next is It acts as an early warning system. Early warning system means before the damage has occurred to the organization or to the product, to the demand, we can find out beforehand what changes need to be done to deal with the future. Okay, so early warning system is the environmental analysis helps as an early warning system. Okay, then changes and adjustments. So according to the warnings, we adjust and change the working of the organization. We adjust the strategies, the plans that are being carried out. Okay, then choosing the right course of action. So to choose the right course of action, it is important that we analyze or study the environment or the occurrences of the environment. Okay, what are the things that impact the environment, or what are the factors in the environment that impact.
Ma'am, screen is not visible.
Screen is not visible. All right. Where was I? Yes. So choosing the right course of action. Course of action means what is to be done in which situation. Okay. So to deal with the future, to deal with the changes that are occurring in the environment, what are the changes that I need to adopt? What is the course of action? What is the plan that I need to make in order to deal with the future? Okay. Then accurate forecasts. So accurate forecasts lead to the best kind of production, best kind of planning for the future. Based on just forecasting the future or the trends that may occur in the future, it is not the most accurate way to forecast. Okay, only the environment or analysis of the environment can help us in forecasting the future. Okay, so if we analyze what is going on around us, what is going on in the market with the competitors, with the industry, only then can we make accurate assumptions about the future. Okay, so accurate forecasts. Then planning the production. So planning the production is obviously done only after we know what the future holds, or what is to be done, or what is going to happen in the future. Okay, so planning leads to achievement of objectives, and to achieve the objectives we need to create the right course of action or the right plan in order to reach those objectives. Okay, so production planning helps in reaching the objectives or goals of the organization, and this planning is based on the forecasts on the changes of the environmental analysis. Okay, then success of the venture, environment is dynamic, knowledge focus, all these points we have already discussed in these points. Okay, knowledge focus means based on the knowledge of the environment, on the knowledge or the information revealed by the environment analysis, we use that knowledge in order to adjust or change or adapt our organization to the surrounding environment. Okay, so is that clear? Next we move on to the constituents of mega environment and their impact. I hope everybody has understood up till here. Okay. Now, what are the constituents, or what is the environment made up of? Okay. The external environment forces affect the venture in various ways. These forces may be complex, rapidly changing, uncertain, and not easily controllable. They set limits for the functioning of an enterprise. They also provide opportunities in the form of market, new products, etc., and challenges and threats coming from competitors, etc. Okay, so first environment is economic environment. First constituent is economic environment. The important aspect of economic environment are the state of business cycle, national income, distribution of income, monetary policies, fiscal or tax policies, balance of payments, structure of the industry, global economy price level, etc. This represents general economic conditions. Under this environment, infrastructure as water, power, communication, transportation system, etc. are important factors to consider. Okay, so when we talk about the economic environment, what do we mean by economic, or let's say economic activities? So any activity that involves money is known as an economic activity. For example, your mother cooks for you every day, okay, and that cooking, that making of food would be considered as a non-economic activity, because you or your family does not pay her to cook, okay. But if she sells that same cooked food in a tiffin service or a dibba service or a delivery service to somebody who pays her, okay, obviously if we get a tiffin service we need to pay back, okay, so that would be considered as an economic activity, okay. So anything that involves money relates to economic activities, okay. So an economic environment relates to any kind of money involving aspects of the environment. Like we discussed, here we have mentioned that the state of the business cycle. What is business cycle? A business cycle is a cycle that keeps on repeating itself in a few years, and there are two extremes to this cycle. One is the boom and the other is the recession period. I think everybody would have studied this business cycle at some point of time in life. I hope you all understand what business cycle is, or should I show you by drawing it? Everybody knows what a business cycle is? Okay, alright. So the state of the business cycle also relates to the recession and the boom period, which relate to economic condition of the country, okay. National income relates to the economic condition of the country, distribution of income, monetary policies, fiscal policies. Now there is a point that I want to remind you of. You may all have studied this in your school, but just as a reminder, monetary policies are made by the RBI, the central bank, okay, and fiscal policies are made by the government, or the changes that are brought about, that I am referring to. The changes that are brought about in monetary policies are done by RBI, and in fiscal policies it is done by the government of India, okay. Then balance of payment, structure of the industry, global economic price levels, etc. Okay, so all these points that we just read out, all these involve money in some or the other way. Okay, so economic environment involves the economic or the monetary conditions of the country. Okay, next moving on to natural environment. Natural environment includes such things as forest, weather, plants, animals, climatic conditions, agriculture production, rocks, etc. Okay, so all these are natural factors or natural elements of the environment. The government have also passed various environmental laws for pollution control. Climatic conditions may favor the promotion of some ventures and projects. Hence, the entrepreneur must consider the ecological and natural conditions which promote their venture or help their venture. They must frame proper strategies to deal with them. Okay, so natural environment consists of elements of the relating to nature. Okay, so how does that impact the organization or the working of an entrepreneur? It impacts because favorable conditions in the climate, favorable natural conditions can help the organization, can help the entrepreneur to promote in the promotion of his or her venture. Okay, then next, for example, if I quote an example here, it may be that all the tea production industries are situated in the hilly regions. Okay, in basically the regions where step farming or farming on the hills can be done, because tea grows on in that kind of climate. Okay, then socio-cultural environment. Socio-cultural environment includes values, attitudes, beliefs and customs of people in the society. It consists of factors related to human relationships. Some of the factors operating in the social environment are demographic characteristics. Now, demographic, does anybody know what demographic means? Can anyone tell me? What is meant by demographic?
Structure of population.
It is the structure of population, but can you point out some of the characteristics that are involved in the demographic? Alright, so I'll point out. So demographic basically deals with all the things that may involve the age of the population, the family conditions, whether it's a nuclear family or a joint family, the occupation level, the income level, the education level. Okay, so all these points are under the demographic characteristics. Yes, Asta, you are a little bit late, but you're right. Study of the population based on factors such as age and sex, etc. Okay, so all these points, age, sex, the education level, the occupation, okay, all these things are under the demographic characteristics. Then social concerns such as pollution, use of mass media and consumerism, social attitudes, values, rituals, practices, changing lifestyle patterns and materialism, family structure and changes, role and status of women, education level and awareness, consciousness of rights and work ethics. Entrepreneurs must understand the attitudes and behaviors of the people. They must manage diversity. They should utilize quality of people. They should study demographic profiles of customers. Okay, so the socio-cultural environment basically consists of the society and the various factors and elements related to the society. What impacts the society, what takes it in a positive direction, what leads to negative reaction from the society, what are the attitudes, beliefs of the society that should be considered while setting up an organization. Okay, so all these things have to be considered, all these things have to be taken under consideration when I am trying to set up my business or trying to create an organization in that particular country. Okay, the socio-cultural environment consists of all these points. Then moving on to the fourth point, political legal environment. Okay, so political environment includes the constitution of the country, behavior of political parties, the attitudes of political and government leaders and legislators, political stability, law and order situation, government agencies, etc. Legal environment consists of factors like rules and regulations, different laws, labor code and legal formalities. Okay, so political and legal environment involve all the factors relating to the political structure of the country and the legal aspects of a business organization. Okay, so political structure, when we talk about political environment, there are various factors in politics that impact every industry, every business. Okay, like once the government changes, the political structure of the country changes, the rules and regulations are also changed. Like in recent years, the change in government has brought about a lot of changes in the business environment, like demonetization, then changing of the FDI policies, changing of the investment structures. Okay, so all these points, all these changes impact the organization, every organization, no matter what business it is. These political changes impact the businesses. Okay, then a country where political stability is more, such kind of a country has more businesses set up. Okay, so political stability leads to better business conditions or better. Yes, GST was introduced, very good, Aarti. GST was also a political factor that impacted all the organizations, all the businesses. Okay, so these would be the political environment factors. Then coming to legal environment. Legal environment basically relates to following of rules and regulations of the country. Whatever rules and regulations are set up, or whatever rules and regulations are made by the by the government, the entire industries have to follow it, and the legal aspect relates to keeping an eye on these businesses whether they follow the rules or not. Okay, so various laws have been created, various rules and regulations have been created, various formalities are there in order to do something. Okay, so for every business there has to be a registration, a permit, a license that has to be issued in respect of the organization as an approval from the government that yes, you can do these business activities, you can be involved in this business, I approve of it. Okay, as we are established under this government, so we need to keep in mind that we do not do something against it. Okay, all right. Next, moving on to technological environment. Technology includes equipments, techniques, and procedures for transformation of various inputs into outputs. Okay, so technology helps us in basically building up the production process. Okay, transformation of inputs into outputs. Technological changes create new challenges and problems before entrepreneurs. Obsolete technologies create competitive pressures. New processes and new equipment demand new adjustments. So when every organization tries to keep up with the technological advancements of the world and tries to incorporate them in their organization. If obviously no organization can be at par or absolutely updated with the changes in the technological environment, because technology is advancing or is being introduced or brought about at such a speedy pace that no one can keep up with it. Okay, we cannot, if we buy a cell phone today, tomorrow you'll see hundreds of other cell phones pop up in the market with better technology than ours. Okay, so it's not possible for anybody to keep up with such a fast pace of the organization, pace of the technology. So obsolete technology creates competitive pressures. When my technology gets old and some other organization or some other competitor buys or installs a new technology in their organization, they will obviously have that benefit, that advantage over me. New processes and new equipment demand new adjustments, but introduction of new technology or new machinery or anything related to technology, if we introduce or buy something new, they will always require the adjustments that will be made. For example, somebody used to use a keypad phone and suddenly we try to advance them and give them a smartphone or Android phone. They will obviously take some time to adjust to it, to get used to it, to know how it works, functions. Okay, the same thing applies to the organization as well. When there are huge machineries brought about, new technological advances brought about in the organizations, the employees need to be taught how to use them, how to adjust to them. Okay. Scientific advancements and discoveries render some skills obsolete. They affect product life cycle, distribution methods, types of raw material, etc. Technology is directly related to product analysis, output of industrial sector, quality, reliability of the product, capital cost, and the productivity of resources. Okay, so when we talk about technology, there are problems also that are related to technological advancements or technological environment. Technology basically, it does help in uh, making our life easier, making our life better, but there are downsides to it. Okay, for example, um, the advancements in technology, um, the biggest example that we can see is the online selling. Okay, the online sale of products and services has rendered huge discomfort and disadvantage to people who have shops in the cities. Okay, earlier all kind of groceries and clothes etc were bought on stores. Now, with online selling and online products being delivered all over the country, even all over the world, it has become very difficult for these small business people to survive. Okay, somebody who has a small shop of say groceries or stationery, they do not get that amount of business as they used to in the old days, because everybody wants to see the variety that is available on the internet. Okay, so this is something that can be considered as a disadvantage of technological environment. Okay, so these were the 5 types of environment that we need to consider and study and analyze in order to keep up with the changes in the environment. Okay, so this brings us to the end of the second unit. Tomorrow we'll study MIS. Okay, tomorrow and day after tomorrow we try to finish up the second unit. I think we did finish up the second unit in there also, right? Madhavi says online business is an example of environment. Very good, Madhavi. So you do understand what it means, right? All right, that will be all for today. I hope everybody has written their attendance. Okay. All right, so we'll continue tomorrow. Okay. Thank you, girls.